Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. Guys, some of you may have not watched part one on this, but we purchased this 2013 Mercedes E250 and I run up on a Saturday afternoon and got it on the train. Quite far up again, but you've got to go where you've got to go to get these cars. They're not going to land on your lap, so I jumped straight on the train and bought it. So the damage on it: driver's side rear light, rear bumper is repairable to a degree, but like we said in part one, we're trying to do a paintless repair on this vehicle. And the worst part of it is this boot lid tailgate, and of course this inside boot light, you can see there, is actually cracked. So boot lid, bumper, rear light that side, rear light that side. Like I just said, we are trying to do a paintless repair. Guys, there's good news and bad news. And the good news is I've managed to find a boot lid for it in colour, which is fantastic news. I've got the boot lid in the workshop. It arrived this morning. Let me take you inside, guys, and give you the bad news. And there we have it, guys. Beautiful boot lid in the correct colour. I mean, you'll never know if it's bang on until we actually get it on the car, but we're hoping. This is off the same sort of year car. It's the exact same paint code. But the bad news is, with anything like this, I mean, this come from Scotland, didn't it? Yeah, it did, yeah, Scotland. And they sent it out on a courier. And guys, here's the bad news. They've got a little clump on it here, which we're going to be quite happy to just touch that in. It is not worth repainting the whole boot lid for that. But guys, check out the back window. It's completely shattered. And this is the risks of having things put in the post. I was actually out, I can't even remember, I was quite far away, and Chris rang me up and said, delivery's here, boot lid's here, back window's smashed, what do I do? So I just told him to sign for it as damaged and obviously get the courier to take some pictures of it. I have been on the phone to the chap that we bought it off. He's very, very understanding. And it wasn't lack of his packing, Chris, was it? No. It was standing up on a pallet with another pallet actually screwed up right.
Yeah, with half a box of screws.
Half a box of screws.
To hold it together.
To hold it together and wrapped up really, really well. But obviously, these pieces of glass, I think they stick out just past, don't they? And, you know, that's happened. But we're not going to, I mean, the guy is going to come up with a solution for us, but we had to sign for this. We want to get on with that car. We want to get cracking. And we know that Liam will come out and he'll cut that window out and he'll cut our window out. And actually, Chris, you're going to have a go at that, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
You're going to
get that all out.
You're going to get that all out, and then
clean it up ready.
Clean it up ready.
It's a bit cheeky to ask Liam to do it, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But
he looks after us.
He does, yeah. So we'll get that out, or I'll watch Chris do it anyway. No, we'll get that out, and then we'll get Liam out to cut the other one out, and then he can glue it in here, guys. So we'll wait till Liam turns up, get that done, and then
I think we'll probably do that before we even start the car, won't we?
Yes.
So it's watertight.
Yeah, definitely, because we want to get this bolted on there, don't we?
We
so,
do.
Yeah, we'll be back as soon as we get that window fitted.
Yeah.
good bit of thinking there, guys. Chris cracked on, and as you can see now, that is just a small loom, isn't it? And this side, it is just a small loom to obviously go back into the tailgate. But actually check this out. We've got the other one on the trestle. This is why we was kind of, yeah, I think we're going to take a chance, and you've already started cracking on with this one. So there's those two looms, guys, that side. Check these out. It was going to be all of that plugged in somewhere up under that roof lining, or and again we got exactly the same. There's earths on there, and it's just, that's crazy, isn't it?
We mentioned earlier, Rob, we don't know if there was a little difference in the wiring somewhere, if the spec of the car was different.
Exactly.
We'd have got it all changed, and then
we'd have had problems. Yeah, so for the sake of those few wires, once this new tailgate goes on, it's going to be thread them through, click them in, and use all of the original stuff. So that's actually worked out really well, the fact that we didn't just start stripping out a roof lining. That is it, isn't it? That little piece there and that little piece there. So Chris is going to carry on with that. We are going to move on to something else in a minute, because we've got to wait for Liam. He wants to cut the tailgate glass out of that glass on the car for rigidity.
Yeah, because the tailgate won't be
moving around. And then, of course, he can glue it in on this one. So we'll leave you in Chris's hands. So, guys, we're just waiting for Liam to arrive, and Chris has brought it in. He's completely stripped everything we're going to need, but decided to, obviously, we did decide to leave that window in because we don't want the weather getting in it, and it's better that Liam does it all in one hit. What I am going to say is, yes, we lost the back window out the other car, but this car has got quite dark privacy glass, including this one. And I said to Chris, we're probably going to have that tinted, but they have actually tinted just inside this edge. So Liam's going to be cutting the window out from... Do you want to lift that up a little bit, Chris? I'll try and zoom in a little bit. If I can. So can you see that, guys, where it's been joined just there? So it's not actually going to show, and that's going to be perfect. We ain't going to have it tinted. No. But in the meantime, we have tracked down the backlights, and they're coming in from, what was they called? Dronesfield. Both of those lights are in the post, and they'll be here tomorrow. The back bumper, everywhere we've looked on the internet, they're pretty much in worse condition than that one. So Chris has sort of pulled the sides out and decided that, do you know what, Rob, I'm going to pull it off and actually have a look. Can we replace that bit behind it? Can I get some heat in there and get that one sorted?
Even if that's until a bumper comes along.
Until one comes along, yeah.
At least we can get it all put back together.
Running and driving, yeah.
Kind of thing, can't we?
Yeah, definitely. Right, so we're just going to move on and get the back bumper off. I don't think there's a lot holding it on, Chris, by the look of it. You've already done the sides, have you? Both sides? Just a few bolts underneath?
Yeah, no, it should be. I think it should be ready to take off now.
Well, we get that off and have a little look. It'd be nice, even though we know there's no damage on that back panel, it's still nice to actually physically see it with your own eyes, isn't there? Let's get it off. Just as we expected, guys, all good news. That bumper bar has not been touched. It was literally, Chris has removed the bumper. Can we turn it upside down? And just like we was looking there, guys. And if you actually look at that from that angle, you can see that big dip there where it's rolled up over it. So what you have kind of decided for a moment, like instead of us having this car in bits and having it parked here, we've ordered one of those, and you're going to put a bit of heat through the bumper and just try and get it level nice until we find one for it. But guys, you can see the back panel is perfect. This hasn't been touched. It literally went above it. So Liam turned up as well. Oh, well, you could probably see that in the tailgate. The window was missing, and it's all glued into the new boot lid. So we're now going to move on and actually fit that. Very, very lucky with this tailgate. The hinges, yeah, the hinges are actually electric. I know there's quite a bit of waffle here, guys, but you all do keep asking for more in depth and to explain a little bit more. So hopefully you are enjoying it. But basically, behind here, we probably can't show it, Chris, actually.
You will.
You will?
Behind
I'll wait till you stop because we never hear you.
Sorry.
That's right. That'll do you, mate, I think.
Yeah. You can see them in there.
Yeah, they're the bolts. But the actual hinges have got the electric rams on them,
right.
and they're inside there.
Yeah.
So it is just these 4 bolts now. We're actually going to get the new one chucked on there, aren't we? Get it fitted.
What we're going to have to do is power it up.
Yep.
Open it. Pop the gas struts off.
Yes.
Then power it back down. Disconnect the electrics again.
Yep.
And then we can take those 4 nuts off. And theoretically, it should just...
Let's do it, mate. Let's do it. All quite straightforward stuff there, getting it on. Quite big holes here, but they did have like washers that are seated to the nuts themselves. We've got it on there, and by no means is that going to be perfect. It is on its original marks, but obviously this tailgate come off a different car. But like Chris just said, because it's a like electric latch, it actually needs to fit this whole thing back up now before we can do the final, get it to fit and straighten it up. But these are the electric rams I was talking about, guys, in there, which is brilliant because we ain't had to touch none of that. Chris is going to crack on and get all this wired back in, and then we can do the final adjustments, and that's the tailgate side of it done. Right, let's crack straight on with it. Guys, that really paid off for Chris dropping all that wiring down, didn't it? Because it was only something silly like the number plate lights, but the plugs was actually different, so that would have ended up being a cut and splice and a bit of soldering, and this completely avoided it. And as you can see from that time lapse there, he zoomed around and put it all back together. Can't actually fit this piece on yet. We are still waiting for that light and the rear light to come in, but they're due in literally today. So is it all right to push this?
It should be good to go.
Look at that. Also, guys, such a shame about that. Such a shame. But I said to Chris, what's the old match like? You don't get no better than that, do you? And Chris actually said as well, let me stand out here. This will bring back some memories for some people. He said, Rob, doesn't that look like what
Ford Mercury Grey?
Ford Mercury Grey, and he's right. That must be so close to it.
Well, there was 3, if I remember rightly, 3 shades of that
Mercury Grey, yeah, but really coming along. Just literally, you can't do anything, can you? We're just waiting on those.
I'm going to get the heat gun on that bumper in a minute.
Oh yeah, should we show that quickly? Just because, and as well, Chris said got a spare spoiler there, and I said, who's ever going to break one of them spoilers? Which is a shame. It's probably going to end up going in the skip. Chris, can you, because I can't use 2 hands, can you demo how soft that is now that you have removed that plastic bar from behind? Guys, see, he couldn't do that before. If you remember in part 1, Chris was saying there's something hard behind that, stopping it. So he is going to try and work his magic. I don't want to say it while Chris is here, but he'll probably end up repairing that, guys. But he's certainly going to get it back into shape and try and get it nice to put back on there for now, aren't you? One of these parking sensors, just a little cap had come unglued.
Started to come off, so
You just got to glue the pair of them back on.
That's it.
We're going to leave Chris on it, guys. The lights arrived, guys, from Johnsfield. Chris has already fitted the little inside one, and I've just run over to Maidstone, the most expensive piece of plastic in the world. So you probably could have heated that up, but you're never going to get these right, and it's not going to make the bumper sit right. Chris has had this warmed up. He's got a block of wood both sides. That's been clamped up all night, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You've sorted this edge out, dressed all this up. So guys, I just went and got this bit of plastic for 91 quid.
But that will hold the bumper.
And it will strengthen it up, yeah. So if I stand around this side, get Chris to hold that piece of plastic, the broken one. If you just hold the end of it, Chris. Yeah. That's, if you hold it stiff.
It's through here.
Yeah, but it's quite flimsy. I noticed it.
If you look there at the angle of these.
Yeah, you can see that a mile away. They've rolled right back.
You'd never get it to hold the bumper correctly.
No, but this has gone quite, it's like weak now, and this one's very, very stiff. And this obviously is a stiffener and a clip for the bumper. So, mate, what we're going to do, chuck the back bumper back on now.
Yeah, put this back on and see if it takes the shape nice. It doesn't need any more heat. And yeah, the bumper can go back on.
Bolt it back on and get the light in it, hopefully.
Like I say, it's not permanent, because it does need a bit of paint, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've glued those parking sensors. Soldered them back in. I can't even remember what side it was. But so yeah, let's just move on, get that fitted, and hopefully should look in some sort of a lot nicer condition. Let's get it on. So guys, we've got that clipped in there, and it really has put the rigidity back in it. It's quite tough now. This we was just looking at, well, actually Chris looked at it when he took it off. Quite a good idea that, Chris, isn't it? Yeah. And there's the nut, and that's because, guys, that's only like that because it's actually double skinned, this back panel, and the nut's got to go in there. So if you tried getting it on the bolt halfway through, you'd just keep dropping it in the bottom, wouldn't you?
Yes,
so it is a good idea, isn't it? And it's just basically a little guide. What we're actually going to do is get this fitted up now and get all the backlights put in it. Just get it all put back together, and then we'll cut in. We're not going to time lapse it or anything. Chris has got all the tools, everything's ready to go. So we'll crack on and we'll be back as soon as we've done it. What a lovely, easy repair. And we got so lucky getting that boot lid in colour. Guys, check that bumper out. Even like down on the floor now, Chris just said, the eye's completely off it. Now it is all back in shape. The worst bit is that little dig just here. Apart from that, it is such a nice car, isn't it? There's not really anything else we can do to it now. So I just said to Chris, he still hasn't been in this, have you? So
no.
I'm going to take him for a run up the road in it quickly. And then, yeah, we'll be back. I thought I'd bring Chris out for a drive in it, guys, because he hasn't been in it. And we just had to stop and put some diesel in it because the light just come on as I pulled up home when I bought it at home last time. But what do you think, mate?
Oh, it's a beautiful car.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really does drive exceptional. 7-speed. It must be, yeah.
Yeah.
We're up to 7th now. But just poodles along, lovely. Look at the steering wheel. No pulling, no wobbling, no nothing at all.
Quite a bit quieter than the other E-Class.
A lot quieter. You won't be able to hear it on camera, but do you remember me moaning about my van and everyone said, oh, it's your roof bars? But my van, when you get up to 70, which is not very often, you can still hear those rear tyres. The 4 tyres on mine, but this has got them on the rear.
It has,
so
yeah.
Can you actually hear it a little bit?
I'll be honest, I can't really hear it. No.
But all round, really
Traffic's held up here, mate.
Really happy with this car. That's a shame because we could have come off there, couldn't we? Done a bit of a boo-boo there, mate, but never mind. Yeah, really nice car, and we're just going to keep looking for either a bumper in colour or just see what comes up. But there's no point in us actually doing any more videos on it, is there?
No.
We're just, you know, we've done as much as we can do. Hopefully this does go quite quick. I've seriously made a boo-boo there, haven't I? Never mind. Right, back to the yard. So guys, it is numbers time on that car. I can't believe I'm saying that so quickly into the video. But like we said earlier, we can't make another video on that. Maybe we'll integrate a bumper repair or something like that in a later video. So quite a lot of you was guessing the price and how much you thought it was worth, etc. in part 1. And well, I always do like to do the numbers, but of course, always at the end of the series. Purchase price of that car, he got paid out 11 £8,000 on that car, which I think they was being quite nasty to him because he couldn't buy another one. He said to me, Rob, try and find one. The cheapest one he could find, like for like without mileage, was nearer 13,000. But he tried arguing and they was adamant that it was £11,000. So the buyback value of the car was £3,850. And if you don't know how that works, guys, basically they'll deduct that amount, he keeps the car, and they'll transfer him the rest of the money or send him a cheque. So he's, like I said, he said he wanted to see it on the channel and he only wanted what he had to give back for it. So £3,850. My train fare there was £50, luckily, because I didn't end up in the wrong place. The rear tailgate, funny story. Again, I wanted to say this halfway through the video, but Chris said, just wait till we get to the end. So it was £200 that tailgate on eBay, free delivery. When I clicked buy it now, went to check out, and it was only 180. eBay had automatically given us 10% discount off. Apparently this is a new thing, but we didn't ask for it, but £180. Soon as it arrived, I wasn't here. I don't know where I was. Chris rang me and said, courier's here, windows all smashed. So I said, bear with me 2 minutes. I rang the chap. I said, mate, it's turned up. Straight away off the bat, Chris could see that paint was chipped off and the back windows shattered. He said, well, can I give you some money back? And I said, well, not. It's kind of defeating the object a little bit. How much do you want to give me back? Chris said, we can get the window swapped out if we have to. And he said, well, what about 150? And I said, what, you want to give me back £50? And he said, no, I'll give you back 150. I was like, yeah, I'm more than happy with that. So that tailgate actually cost us 30 quid, guys, which you'll never get another one for 30 quid. Yeah, it had the window broken, but I think we'd have had to have had the window tinted in that anyway. So it's just worked out perfectly in our favour. The bumper plastic I went and got, £91. Rear lights, they was spiteful, £159. Rear wiper, Chris had to actually cut through the plastic and remove it in sections because it goes through the back window and it was so stuck on there it had never been off. Chris said, I don't want to risk breaking the window, so 20 quid. A valet that I had done that Sunday morning was £20. So we got a total of £4,240. What a cheap car. Guys, now what are we going to ask for that car? You can see the grin on my face. You all guessed it in the last video. He's keeping it, guys. He's keeping it. Straight away, when I got here, I was like, oh, Chris, that's a bit of you. Because although Chris has got the E-Class convertible, you're not selling that E-Class convertible.
No.
It's like him and his missus go out in that at the weekends and they do enjoy having the top down and having the wind blowing through their hair. But so Chris is keeping hold of that E-Class for a moment. But as you know, he's got his dinghy and he does like to go out and use it. And that's why he's always kept that Skoda estate. And I was like, straight away after the video, he still really mentioned it. And he was like, yeah, definitely, Rob, 100%, I do want to keep that E-Class Merc. He hasn't even driven it yet, but that's why we went out on a little road test. So that's bad news for anyone that did want it. But on the upside, there is some good news. What is now available, Chris?
Well, will be shortly.
The little Skoda is going to be available to buy. We ain't quite sure on a price, guys, but we're probably, let's make a day now, Chris, because otherwise people, they're upset that they miss it. Shall we say definitely Saturday? We can get that done by then. We've got to wash it.
Bank holiday weekend.
Oh, it is bank holiday. We've got to wash it, put a tyre on it.
It hasn't missed a beat though.
It hasn't skipped a beat the whole time you've had it. And what did we put on that? Cam belt, water pump, oil filter, air filter, idler. But in all fairness, you've probably only done 2,000-3,000 miles since we've done that, haven't you?
No, really, it's surprising.
We'll have to check. Anyway, that is going to be available, guys. Chris, I mean, I did ring Chris up and I said the comments in that video, I would go as far as to say 50% of them said, yeah, I could tell Chris is keeping that car. So all of you that did guess that, guessed absolutely correctly. And he will keep that car now. You don't need any, unless something really new comes up with lower mileage, That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't change cars too regular.
You don't,
That's
do
a
you?
habit.
Nah. And just quickly, guys, I'm just going to quickly put on the end of this video, I know that I've said it before, so some of you have heard it. Why doesn't Chris ever get to test drive the cars? Quite a lot of people say, you never let Chris drive. So, not last year, the year before, our car insurances are due the same sort of time. I've only been working with Chris 3 years, we've been friends for 20 odd. I've always had my own Motor Traders policy, and so has Chris. But 2 years ago, he got his estimate through and it had almost doubled, hadn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
Even though it was a lot of money, he'd never even...
restrictions.
A lot of restrictions, and you'd never claimed.
Put the Caterham on it,
No.
so it was kind of...
It just wasn't worth it. So now he's got a separate classic car policy for the classics, and you've got a policy that covers your truck, your car, and the convertible, and it's all on like a multi-car policy, and it's half altogether what his insurance was going to basically ask him. So I've kept my traders going. I did ring up to add Chris to it, and mine actually doubled. He went, Rob, just forget it. You do the driving. So guys, I hope that, I'm not quite sure what the word is for it. A lot of you did ask, basically, anyway. So that is the end of today's video. As usual, drop your comments in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Like, subscribe, share. Check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. And we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.